Dave, Fiona, Reynolds, thank you very much for coming down to Bristol. Just a few short questions. In for-profit organisations, the dominant stakeholders are shareholders, and the key objective, of course, is maximising their value. In non-profit organisations, the objectives are arguably less clear, and stakeholders are by far more numerous. What are the main challenges of managing a non-profit organisation?
Well, the main challenge is knowing who your stakeholders are, actually, I would say. I mean, we have a very easy task in the National Trust, very easy to say, quite hard to do, which is that our accountability is to the nation. We have an Act of Parliament that says so. So that's brilliant in the sense that, you know, I'm very clear that's who I'm thinking of, not all the lobby groups and all the endless interest groups who do have a very particular angle on us. However, thinking about the nation is quite a big challenge, and so actually being able to articulate a clear vision when your constituency is so big is probably a common challenge for NGOs.
So what are the key strategic issues facing the National Trust?
Well, I think for us it's very simple. We have two absolutely fundamental jobs to do. One is to look after places forever, which means, and forever is a very long time, which means we have to be sustainable, we have to be able to fund ourselves forever, and we have to have a very long-term view when it comes to making decisions. The other is we look after special places forever for everyone. So we're constantly thinking about our dependence on millions of people. Millions of people join us, millions of people visit, millions of people need to support us to keep us going. So we're really thinking about the customer and what they need and where they're coming from and how their needs are changing.
So what are the key internal and external factors that influence the future strategy of the Trust?
Well, mainly people, actually. People, because we are so dependent on support from our members and supporters and donors all over the country. So we really have to think about, are we meeting their needs? Our properties, are they interesting enough? Are they lively enough? Will people want to come back? And then, of course, we do have to be really good at conservation, because our whole ethos depends on us having confidence and other people having confidence in us that we really are looking after these places.
Now, it's often assumed that organisations operating in the tertiary sector are free from competition. Is this the case?
Not at all. Actually, we've got lots of competitors, and I think that's very healthy. We've got English heritage, we've got the royal palaces, we've got all the gardens in the country, we've got countryside, we've got national parks, you know, you name it. But actually, our biggest competitor is competition for people's time. And that's a really interesting issue, because people have endless choices about how to spend their time these days, and why would they come to us? We've got to make it really exciting, tantalising, and make them want to enjoy it so much they come back again.
Now, taking you abroad, following the recent earthquake in Haiti, a number of non-governmental organisations started blaming each other for delays, and it appeared that many were actually reluctant to cooperate with each other. On the other hand, private sector organisations that compete fiercely enter into alliances. Is this something that is a one-off case, or do tertiary section organisations find difficulty cooperating?
Gosh, I think Haiti must have been an incredibly difficult challenge. I mean, I just think about the scale of the emergency, the scale of the disaster, how difficult it was to get people there. I think it's not surprising there were some challenges. I have to say, I think that third sector organisations on the whole are very good at cooperating, because most of the time they haven't got enough money to do what they want to do. And they're actually very, very frugal and very careful, and therefore quite good at kind of working out, well, I can do this bit, you can do that bit. For example, we don't compete with other organisations ever to buy land or property. We always look around and say, well, maybe the Wildlife Trust will be interested in this, or maybe, you know, there's another organisation that can look after, or set up a special trust to look after that piece of heritage. But I think when it push comes to shove, in times of emergency, or when you have to act really fast, that does put tensions on people.
Mm-hmm. There's a great deal of writing about effective leadership in the private sector, but little in the third sector. What are the attributes of good leadership in the third sector that you would advocate?
Oh, passion and vision, I think are absolutely essential, and it's got to be authentic vision as well. You do need to have all kinds of skills, which, goodness, you know, no one's got them all, around management, around, you know, the ability to run an organisation. But fundamentally, you've got to feel it in your heart and be able to communicate not only to your staff, but in our case to our volunteers, and certainly to our constituencies out there, what it is we stand for, where we're going, and why people should support us, because we're so dependent in the third sector on people's support.
Of course. Concerns have been raised about the relatively small number of women appointed to top management posts. How has your career shaped your views on this?
Well, I've been very lucky. I've been a chief executive since I was 22. But mind you, that organisation had 1.5 staff in it, so you know it wasn't a huge competition. I think the third sector is very good in this respect. There are some fantastic women chief execs of the charity world. In fact, we all meet for dinner. We get on very well. We talk to each other a lot because I think many of us have come through similar experiences. So I think the charity sector is good. I do notice that, you know, in the private sector particularly, women aren't as well represented. And I do think that there are real opportunities actually for women to add something to other fields. But personally, I've been very lucky. I've been in the charity sector most of my life, and I have been a chief executive 3 times now. So